It's been a tough few years for the tourism industry across the territory, with the strong Australian dollar and the global economic downturn. As the industry gears up for its peak season, though, tourism operators are pinning their hopes on a turnaround in trade. And some say it's time for a rethink in order to keep the visitors coming. Alison Middleton reports.
The dry season has arrived in Darwin and the Mindle Beach Sunset Market is open for business. This popular tourist attraction has helped catapult Darwin into Lonely Planet's top 10 cities for 2012. Stallholders hope the good rap will offset what's been a quiet few years.
There used to be waves of international tourists, and I think that's probably the thing that I've noticed the difference.
Diane Walsh has run a stall at the markets for 15 years. She's noticed there are fewer international tourists and those who do come are spending less.
So although they might come and enjoy the experience, the sunset, the food, they're not really spending a great deal on the other things that the markets have got to offer.
We don't seem to get as many international backpackers percentage-wise as perhaps we used to. A lot more southerners perhaps coming up for short trips.
Tourism is one of the mainstays of the Northern Territory's economy. It makes up 1/10 of the NT's economic output and directly employs almost 1 in 10 Territorians. While funding for the sector has increased over the last decade, the number of tourists hasn't followed suit.
Over the last 10 or 12 years, we're down by as much as a third. Some markets are much more than that. The international market is halved in that period of time. So there's been a long, slow decline over that period of time.
If you look at it on average, about 3.5% decline in visitation year on year since 2006. And we've seen rather larger declines since the global financial crisis hit in the 08-09 sort of period.
Uluru has recently played host to some high-profile guests.
Without a fly in my mouth, okay?
But overall, visitors to Uluru and Kakadu National Parks dropped 9% last year.
The high Aussie dollar, our distance and cost from our main markets, is no doubt impacting us. Most of Australia's growth in tourism is occurring with people travelling in their own state. And as you know, we don't have a big population in the Territory, so that can't sustain our industry.
Are you going on the Mulgus tour?
At this backpackers hostel in Alice Springs, it's busy.
So you got 2 nights and then...
But the marketing manager says the absence of a second airline flying into the centre is being felt.
When you look back to maybe 10 years ago, it has climbed quite a lot, but I think the main reason is probably the airlines, coming in and out of Alice Springs. So whenever there is only Qantas flying in, it is always quieter.
Tourism in the Red Centre took another hit this month. The rape of 2 European backpackers has made international news. Concern about the ripple effect on tourism triggered an industry meeting in Alice Springs this week.
We'd be foolish to think that some of the challenges around the publicity generated for Alice are not going to bite in the marketplace. So I think the secret is, we all know, our research says that people still regard Alice Springs as an iconic Central Australian town. So I think we've got to look at what are the opportunities and start to make sure our positive messages are competing in the market.
For these backpackers, there are still plenty of reasons to come to the Red Centre.
It's a really nice place in the world. I think it's really nice to see the desert, and there is nothing around, and that's good to see a city in the middle of nowhere.
It's a nice little town. It's pretty good so far. Nice weather, pretty good compared to down south in Melbourne.
In the Katherine region, Nipmuc National Park is the star attraction, but the operator of these tours has witnessed a steady decline in visitors.
The financial crisis is ongoing, and at this point I think it still can be classified as perhaps one of the worst years we are going to have.
In Darwin, the booming resources sector is putting a strain on accommodation. While some fear holidaymakers will be priced out of hotels, others see a new source of tourism dollars.
Domestic visitors down by 25 to 35%, but interestingly the business visitors and the government visitors are up by 15 or 20%. So there has been some markets that have been improving.
The Territory is also eyeing off the growing Chinese tourist market, but the industry is being told to rethink what it has to offer.
In the Northern Territory, particularly in Central Australia, we've continued to focus on sightseeing and passive tourism and getting lots of people to look at big red rocks and so on. The market's moved on. People now want active tourism. They want to be doing things, they want to be achieving things, and I don't think we've caught up to the market yet.
In the meantime, it's hoped the tourists who have come to the Territory will spread the word back home.
No, we've been out to Litchfield and the waterfalls and just beautiful. And the commentary in the bus was really good.
So in Italy there's no crocodile, no snake and spider, and the weather is beautiful, it's hot all the year, and I like Darwin.
And with the peak dry season just starting, tourism operators have their fingers crossed that things will improve.
With a good collaboration across the industry, we can see some green shoots appearing, and hopefully we'll see a return to growth in the next 12 to 18 months.